Hey everybody, I'm Katallina, and today we're here to talk about episode 5 of The Magical Girl and the Evil Lieutenant Used to Be Arch Enemies. Well, this was a twist I did not see coming, but which personally I thoroughly enjoyed. The idea that the henchmen capture Mimori and bring her to Mira is actually really funny because, of course, Mira has not wanted to do this. Mira has been putting this off, and we have been stalling on this big time. He's really lucky that they didn't just kill her, because I mean, in most realistic situations, which I realize the show isn't, that would be the thing that would happen. She would end up dying in battle, and that would be the end of it. Now, I suppose there are some excuses where she could have been brought back for interrogation. I can understand that the people around him don't necessarily realize what's going on with him yet. He seems to have been doing at least a semi-okay job at covering for himself, but it does definitely bring a smile to my face and kind of give me a chuckle that things are going down the way that they are. And some of the stuff that happened when she was all tied up was actually pretty funny. Especially the fact that the issue she ended up having was that she needed to go to the bathroom, because I mean, how often does a situation like this break down like that, especially if it's being utilized in a comedic sense? I also really like the fact that the way that he was getting her to make the sounds that he needed when he turned the monitors off was that he was tickling her. It made me think of how they used to interrogate people like in old school Ninja Turtles cartoons, which was absolutely cracking me up. I do also find it funny that she was actually reluctant to find a way to escape because she didn't want to get him into trouble. It's like, Mimori, do you not understand how serious this is? Do you not understand how much danger you are in? Like, wow. I don't know whether it's that she doesn't understand or that she doesn't care. And if it's the second thing where she doesn't care, I don't know whether that's because she likes him and doesn't want to cause trouble for him, or because she is just so tired and dejected and done that she's like, okay, fine, let's just get this over with. Like she's Clarice from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer when she ends up being caught and taken by the, like, abominable snow monster or whatever. And they're all just, like, passed out, half-assed, almost getting eaten. I really don't know, but it's one or the other, and either way it's pretty wild. Another thing that I think is funny is that we saw Blondie from the last episode actually show up in this situation. And instead of being like, what's going on? Or like saying, I'll take over. Or like saying, do you need help? He's like, oh my god, I interrupted you and I know how much you love this. Which, oh, the expression from Mira was so good, my guys. It was so funny. The way that they put the color on him and stuff and the sound effects they used, it was just absolute perfection. Because here Blondie's all saying what he thinks and is being sincere and everything else and is being honest. And Mira is thinking, just let the floor open up and eat me now. Cause like, Mimori's gonna think I'm a freak. And it was just absolutely great. I also really liked the way that they transitioned the situation from her having been captured to how he actually helps her escape. And what we see going through her mind when she's passed out, we realize that she was isolated when she was in this orphanage or whatever the heck it was technically. And we realize that she is very afraid of thunderstorms, which is something to which I can totally relate because my schnauzer Maggie is absolutely terrified of thunderstorms. So she gets sympathy points from me on that one. And I really like how that aspect of it wrapped up because Mira is like, I'm going. And she was like, okay. And all Mira wants her to do is actually tell him the truth that she wants him to stay. Because in every aspect of their encounters, she is passive, and I think it's starting to drive him crazy. I think he's starting to really see that she just doesn't have any real will to keep going, or will to really preserve herself, or to listen to and actually utilize her needs in any way. And I think it's starting to piss him off, at least to an extent. Not necessarily to the point where it's going to push him away from her, but I think he's pissed off on her behalf. And I can totally get that because he doesn't like the idea that she's like that. Because, I mean, it's one thing when she's like that with him, but I mean, in the back of his mind, he's got to be thinking, like, holy crap, what if she's going to be like that with other people? Lastly, of course, we totally need to talk about that ending, because so much happened in like the last minute of the show after the credits that it was absolutely crazy. Now, we saw at the start of the episode, and I was a bit confused by this. I don't know whether the cat is officially back. She's aware that it's back. Mira might not know that it's back, and she was going out and getting stuff for it, or whether we were seeing some kind of flashback to it offering her stuff. I'm not sure which way to take that, because it didn't really keep it clear for me. But at the end of the episode, we see that the cat is very much alive, and it's speaking to another person from its organization, and we actually see a different magical girl. We see this thing tell the cat that Mimori is defunct, ineffective, broken, worthless, whatever word you want to use for it. She's not doing her fucking job. And this thing is like, it's time for my girl to step in. This is the new magical girl. So we're going to be dealing with that going forward, and that should be really interesting. I wonder whether this means that we're going to get to see Mira being a bit more of a badass and actually get to see him really fighting something, because he hasn't wanted to fight Mimori, but that's because he likes her specifically. We've seen indications that Mira is actually a massive badass when he is not breaking his glasses out of love, which is so funny every time it happens. So that could be really interesting. We're also going to have to see whether that means that Mira's life is in danger, or whether she is being retired, or just what that's actually going to entail. So I'm definitely intrigued about that. Overall, I thought this was a rock solid episode. It's one of my favorite episodes of anything that's come out so far this week. I super enjoyed it, but as always, I'd love to know what you guys are thinking, so drop a comment below and let me know, and I'll talk to you in the next video. See you later. Bye!